Number 20. Jenna bought some apples for $1.25 per pound and some avocados for $4 per pound. Altogether, she spent $14.25 for 7 pounds of apples and avocados. What is the total number of pounds of avocados Jenna bought? So this is a system of equations. This is not an easy problem, but I like to start with putting it in terms that make sense. So the total is made up of apples and avocados. Now, since these both start with the letter A, I'm going to use different letters to represent them. I'm going to say that the total, I'm going to use P for apple and V for avocado, just to help me distinguish because they're both A words. And we know that she has 7 pounds of fruit. She has apples and avocados. I guess an avocado is a fruit. It has a seed in it. But whatever it is, the 7 pounds are made up of those two things. So in its simplest form, the apples and the avocados weigh 7 pounds. But we can also talk about this in terms of money. So we can say that the total money is still apples and avocados. We're not throwing grapes or bananas in there. And that the money is $14.25. That every pound of apples, so every pound of those apples is $1.25. And then every pound of avocados is $4. So we wrote an equation with the money part of this problem. We just need to combine the two parts to solve. So we have a system of equations where you use one equation to plug into the other equation to solve the problem. And since we're looking at the number of pounds of avocados that she bought, I want to set this problem up in terms of the avocados. So I want to solve for V. V goes with avocados. So in this problem, let me change colors right here. I'm going to come back here and solve this problem for V. We know that P plus V is 7. So if I move the apples over to this side, I can then plug in that letter V. Actually, I did it the wrong way. I'm sorry. I want to solve for the apples. We're good here. Because remember, I want to solve for V at the end. So this time I'm going to solve for the apples. I'm going to subtract the V off both sides and cancel. So P is 7 minus V. Same concept, I solved for the wrong letter. The reason I want the apples is because I want to be able to plug this in right here, like so. I started to re-record this, and I maybe should have, but I want you to see that I make mistakes, especially on problems like this, because they hurt my head. But here's how we would finish this. $14.25 is going to be equal to, instead of that letter P, I'm going to use the 7 minus V that I got right here. Instead of P, I'm going to put in that value of 7 minus V, and then plus 4V. This is where I want everything in terms of V. All right, so I'll have to distribute. I get $1.25 times 7. Let me get my calculator out here. That is $8.75. And then 1.25 V plus 4V, and that's all equal to this dollar amount. Let's combine these V's right here. So we've got a negative 1.25 and a positive 4. Be careful putting that in your calculator. You should get positive 2.75 V. And there's 875, 14.25. Gonna minus that number, the constant. Cancel. And that's 5.5 on the constant side. Don't lose your equal sign in there. Then 2.75 V, and you're going to divide by 2.75. Gracious, what a problem. This is another one of those, I would just make a guess. Unless you just have extra time, I would not get bogged down in this whole thing. Remember, V stands for avocados in our problem. So I would go with 2 on that one. B is the answer.